What's up, guys? So you're sitting at home, you want to travel, you want to go to Jamaica, or you have a destination in mind, but you're nervous and you have tons of questions running through your head, and you have every right to be nervous. We're in a pandemic that seems like it's never gonna go away. So I'm making this video to hopefully calm your nerves. Me, myself, I just came from vacation. I just came from Jamaica a week ago. So I just want to document this video, give you all the rundown, my entire experience from traveling from New York to Jamaica, spending about a week there, and then from traveling back from Jamaica to New York again. My entire experience. I'm gonna give you guys the whole rundown. Hopefully by the end of this video you guys are comfortable enough to just want to fly to Jamaica or wherever you want to go. Just book that flight, just go. Obviously you want to make sure that you have all your safety precautions in place, because your health comes first. But hopefully this video can calm your nerves and can put your nerves at ease. So first and foremost, anyone that's traveling into Jamaica is required to have a travel authorization. So what is a travel authorization? Pretty much it's a form that determines your eligibility to be allowed into a country or not. So what the Jamaican government is doing is any tourist that's flying into the country has to have a travel authorization form. So that travel authorization form lets them know that you've met all the requirements they want tourists to meet before they're allowed into the country, because obviously we're in a pandemic and they need to keep their country safe. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to apply for one and how long it takes to receive an approval or a denial. So let's jump into my computer and I will walk you guys through the steps. Traveling into Jamaica is required to apply for a travel authorization. Now that's going to determine your eligibility to either be allowed into Jamaica or not. So visit Jamaica.com is where you want to go to. This website is kind of like a one-stop shop for anything you need to know about traveling to Jamaica, any restrictions, any tips, any tourist restrictions that the Jamaican government might have put in place. So this is a one-stop shop. This is where you want to go to. So once you're on this website, you get greeted with a very nice welcoming video and pictures of all the tourist attractions in Jamaica. So go ahead and click find out more and get yours here. On the next page, go to the right and click get your travel authorization here. It's gonna bring you here. Now this page is sort of important. Do not quote me on this, but it's gonna ask you, do you live in Jamaica? Most of us, including myself, we're gonna click no. We're obviously tourists, we're just there for a week or two. Some folks are going to click yes. Now if you click yes, again, do not quote me on this, but if you click yes, most likely you're not going to be staying in a hotel or in a resort. Most likely you have a family home in Jamaica, you have family there, you're going to be staying in your family home, so it's going to be hard to quarantine you and it's going to be hard to track you. So if you click yes, I believe once you arrive in Jamaica, you're required to download an app on your phone, and they're going to use that app to track your whereabouts to make sure you're quarantined. If you click no, most likely you're going to be staying at a resort or at a hotel. So tracking you and quarantining you is going to be easy, and you're not required to have an app on your phone for tracking purposes. So go ahead and click no. Go ahead and enter your email address. Now once you enter your email address, it's going to send you a one-time code. Now this form needs to be completed, I believe, 3 days before you travel. If you try to do it a week before you travel, it's going to tell you that you're doing it too early, and it's going to ask you if you want to be sent a reminder within 3 days, within 72 hours to complete this form. So try to complete this form 72 hours prior to your travel, and you should get a response back within 24 hours if you've been approved to travel to Jamaica or not. 319290. And then click verify. It brings you to this page. Now it's going to ask you pretty much a lot of basic questions, a lot of health questions as well. You're completing this for yourself. I'm just going to put any random name. So last name, let's say Doe John. So like I said, if you complete this form too early, you're gonna get a message saying that you're completing this form too early, so to come back within 72 hours. So for instance, if I were to put, let's say I'm traveling on the 19th or the 18th, that's almost a week away. It's not gonna allow me to complete this form. This form needs to be completed within 72 hours. So just for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna pretend as if I'm traveling, let's say on the 13th. So today's the 11th. I'm gonna pretend as if I'm traveling on the 13th. And then it brings you to this page. Now this page, you get asked a bunch of basic questions. Your name, the country that you're from, your occupation, date of birth, your phone number, date you plan to travel to Jamaica, date you plan to return back to leave Jamaica, countries that you visited recently, your passport number, your purpose of visit, family members that you're with. It's not going to allow me to click next, but on the next page you put in your hotel information, your flight number, the airline that you're flying into Jamaica with, and I believe on the next page is where you upload your negative COVID test result. So yes, you do need to get a COVID test, and it needs to be negative. So you need to upload that test result as well. The test result has to be within 10 days. So you cannot upload a test that you did 2 weeks ago or 12 days ago. It needs to be within 10 days. Once you completed all those steps, just click submit. Once you click submit, you're going to get a confirmation email, and in the confirmation email, it's going to inform you to wait 24 to 48 hours to get your approval for them to decide whether you've met all the requirements or not. So luckily for me, I got my approval within 24 hours. It didn't take long at all. So now that I've shown you guys how to apply for the travel authorization and how long it takes to get an approval or denial, I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown on my entire trip from New York to Jamaica and from Jamaica back to New York. So travel day, you get to the airport, you meet with the airline agent. Before you even check your bags in or print out your boarding pass, first thing they ask for is the travel authorization. He asks to verify that, and then once he verifies that, he checks you in, checks your bag in. One thing that I noticed, that because of the whole travel authorization form, we weren't allowed to check in online. So I tried to check in online a day prior. I tried to check in the app a day prior, and it wouldn't let me. So you have to go on site at the airport to check in. So once that's done, you go through TSA, you get to the boarding gate. Once you get to the gate, we flew Delta. One thing I like about Delta is they let you know ahead of time that this flight is full. So if you're not comfortable with flying this flight, you can reschedule, you can skip the flight, whatever you want to do. So our flight landed and folks got off. We got told that the flight just landed and that it's being sanitized before we can get on. And then you hear they tell you a bunch of videos and announcements that, oh, they have a new filtration system. This is like the latest and greatest. It filters the air better. It captures bacteria, viruses, blah, 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 blah. So once boarding time is up and you're about to board, before you even board, before you even go through the gate, they ask you for your travel authorization again. So that's twice before you even leave New York. One thing that I did is I printed all my documents in the folder. So anytime they asked for my travel authorization or whatever, I just took it out and showed it to them. Once they verify that, you go through the gate. Once you get to the plane door, there is a flight attendant there that's passing out Clorox wipe that's sealed. You just rip it up, clean. I had Clorox wipe in my bag anyway, but everyone, the airline provides everyone with a Clorox wipe, and you just sanitize your seat, your armrest, your table, whatever you want to sanitize. The flight was pretty smooth. We all complied. We all wore our masks the entire flight. So flight was pretty smooth. We landed in Jamaica. We go through the door. The first person that you're going to be greeted with is a woman. It could be a man for you, but for me it was a woman in full PPE holding a hand sanitizer spray. Everybody that's getting off the plane has to open their palms, and she sprays this disinfectant spray in your palms, and you just rub it, move on to the next. The next person you're going to be greeted with is another person in full PPE. She takes your temperature and she writes your temperature down on a sheet of paper and tells you to hold on to it. After that, you might see a bunch of military folks. Don't get shook or don't get scared of at all. They're just there to make sure traffic is going smoothly. They're just there to direct traffic and to make sure everything is going smoothly. So this military guy is going to walk you peacefully and calmly to a section where it's full of health officials, about 10, 15, 20 health officials just sitting down waiting for us. They're all in full PPE gear, and everybody that's getting off the plane has to sit down with these health officials. Now once you sit down, they get the temperature that was written on the paper for you. They take that, they write that down, they ask you a bunch of questions, the hotel you're going to, your flight number, flight name, when you plan on returning back to the States, if you've been around someone with COVID, if you've tested negative, positive. You have to sign a bunch of stuff promising that you're not going to leave your hotel, your resort, your entire stay. So you need to stay at your resort your entire stay. I'm going to get back to that because we got really lucky on that. Once everything is done, you move on to the next step. So the next step is you go through immigration, you get your bags, you catch a cab, you go to your resort. Now when we got to our resort, the first 2 days we weren't allowed to leave our hotel or resort, which we didn't care because our resort had everything that we needed. It had a bunch of activities, it had a bunch of beach sports, water sports, food was great, so we really didn't care, and it was huge, so we didn't care. After the third day, we got lucky. We heard from someone that the Jamaican government had lifted tourist restrictions, so tourists can now leave their hotels. So we were like, oh really? Yes. So we started booking activities outside the resort. We went to town, we went to the market, we went to Ocho Rios, Dunn's River. We did a bunch of stuff. We just toured the entire Montego Bay and Ocho Rios, and my entire Jamaican trip was A+, even during a pandemic. It was just beautiful, smooth, people were great, Delta was great, flight was great, food was great. I mean, I have nothing to complain about. Hopefully this video can calm your nerve. Hopefully this video put all of that at ease. So yeah, just feel comfortable enough to book that flight to Jamaica or flight to wherever you want to go. Please like this video, share it, subscribe. I'm gonna have more videos coming, and I will see you guys in the next video. So ciao.